The blast rips through the chamber, severing Bruce Henry's arm at the shoulder. Blood sprays across the ornate marble floor of the Malin Diplomatic Hall. Alien delegates recoil in horror, their faces contorting in a mix of disgust and shock. But Bruce doesn't flinch. He grits his teeth, tightens his grip on the young Malin child in his remaining arm, and presses on through the chaos. Moments earlier, the vast chamber buzzed with anticipation. Representatives from every corner of the Milky Way gathered for a summit that could shape the galaxy's future. The looming threat of an unknown enemy had forced even the most isolationist species to consider an alliance. Earth, still viewed as a backwater world by many, sent Bruce as its ambassador. The Malin homeworld spared no expense for the occasion. Holographic displays showcased the planet's history and culture. Elaborate sculptures of revered Malin leaders adorned the walls. The air hummed with translator devices, a cacophony of alien languages blending into a single, comprehensible discourse. Bruce stood near the center of the chamber, acutely aware of the dismissive glances thrown his way. To most gathered here, humans were curiosities at best, potential cannon fodder at worst. He squared his shoulders, determined to prove Earth's worth. The first explosion caught everyone off guard. The room's eastern wall crumbled, showering delegates with debris. Panic erupted as alien diplomats scrambled for safety. Bruce's military training kicked in. He scanned the room, assessing threats and escape routes. That's when he heard it, a high-pitched wail cutting through the bedlam. Near the blast site, a young Malin child lay trapped beneath a fallen column. Without hesitation, Bruce charged forward. He planted his feet, muscles straining against Earth's lower gravity as he lifted the massive chunk of stone. The child scrambled free, but before Bruce could retreat, the second explosion struck. White-hot pain lanced through his left side as his arm was torn away. For a split second, the world went silent. Then reality crashed back in. The screams, the acrid smoke, the copper taste of blood in his mouth. Bruce's vision swam, but he forced himself to focus. The child stood frozen in terror. With his remaining arm, Bruce scooped up the young Malin and staggered towards the exit. Each step sent waves of agony through his body, but he refused to falter. As he neared the chamber's main doors, Bruce became aware of the eyes upon him. Alien delegates, some of the most hardened warriors and cunning leaders in the galaxy, watched in stunned silence. Among them stood Nina, a high-ranking Malin military officer. Her mandibles clicked in astonishment as she witnessed the humans' unyielding determination. Medical teams poured into the chamber, their varied anatomies a testament to the diversity of the gathered species. Bruce gently set down the Malin child, ensuring it was safely in the care of a medical officer. Only then did he allow himself to acknowledge the extent of his injury. As the adrenaline faded, Bruce swayed on his feet. A Zanabi medic with 4 arms steadied him, already applying a coagulant to the wound. Bruce's last conscious thought before passing out was a hope that his actions might have changed some minds about humanity's place in the galaxy. In the days that followed, as Bruce recovered in a Malin medical facility, the true impact of his actions became clear. The attack, orchestrated by a radical faction opposed to galactic unity, had failed to derail the alliance talks. Instead, it had given birth to an unexpected hero, and a new respect for the potential of humanity. The Malin government, grateful for Bruce's sacrifice, offered Earth a prominent position in the forming coalition. But with this newfound respect came increased scrutiny. Other species now viewed humans not just as allies, but as potential rivals. Bruce's actions had opened a door, but stepping through it would require all of humanity's strength and resolve. As Bruce lay healing, he couldn't have known that his split-second decision to save a child would spark a chain of events that would test the very limits of human endurance and ingenuity. The galaxy watched and waited, wondering what these tenacious Earthlings would do next. Bruce's eyes fluttered open, the sterile white ceiling of the Malin Medical Facility coming into focus. The rhythmic beeping of alien medical equipment filled the air, a constant reminder of his newfound surroundings. He turned his head, wincing at the phantom sensation where his left arm used to be. "Ah, you're awake," a familiar voice chittered. Nina, the Malin military officer, stood at the foot of his bed, her mandibles clicking softly as she spoke. "How are you feeling, Ambassador Henry?" Bruce attempted to sit up, his remaining arm trembling with the effort. "I've been better," he managed, his voice hoarse. "The child?" Nina's compound eyes gleamed. "Safe and well, thanks to you. Your actions have caused quite a stir, Ambassador." As if on cue, a holographic display on the wall flickered to life, showing footage of the attack. Bruce watched himself charge through the chaos, lifting the fallen column, and carrying the Malin child to safety. The clip ended with him collapsing into the arms of the Zanabi medic. "This has been broadcasting across every communication network in the galaxy," Nina explained. "Many species are intrigued by your capabilities." Bruce nodded, absorbing the information. "And the summit? The Alliance talks?" "Proceeding, albeit with heightened security measures. Your actions have given Earth a prominent voice in the discussions." Nina paused, her antenna twitching slightly. "But I must warn you, not all reactions have been positive. Some view humans as potential rivals now." Before Bruce could respond, the door slid open with a soft hiss. 2 humans entered, a man with wire-rimmed glasses and a tablet, and a broad-shouldered individual in a crisp military uniform. "Ambassador Henry," the uniformed man said, stepping forward. "I'm Major John Steele, and this is Dr. Marcus Robertson. We've been sent by Earth to assist in your recovery and, well, to make the most of the situation." Dr. Robertson approached Bruce's bedside, his eyes gleaming with nearly unleashed excitement. "Ambassador, how would you feel about being the first human to receive a state-of-the-art cybernetic limb, incorporating both human and alien technologies?" Bruce's eyes widened. He glanced at his missing arm, then back at the doctor. I'm not sure. This is all happening so fast." Nina interjected. "Perhaps we should give the ambassador some time to process this information. He's only just regained consciousness." Major Steele nodded. "Of course. We'll be here for the duration of your recovery, Ambassador. There's no rush to make a decision." As the group filed out of the room, Bruce called out, "Wait, Dr. Robertson?" The scientist turned back, eyebrows raised. "Tell me more about this cybernetic arm." Over the next few days, Bruce's room became a hub of activity. Dr. Robertson worked tirelessly, consulting with Malin medical experts and fine-tuning his designs. Major Steele split his time between Bruce's bedside and meetings with alien security forces, offering his expertise on strengthening protocols for future gatherings. Nina visited regularly, updating Bruce on the ongoing investigation into the attack. "We've identified the perpetrators," she revealed during one such visit. "They're part of an organization called the Nexus. They oppose galactic unity, seeing it as a threat to individual species sovereignty." Bruce absorbed this information, his mind racing with implications. Have they made any further moves? Nina's mandibles clicked in what Bruce had come to recognize as a sign of concern. "Not yet, but we're remaining vigilant. Your Dr. Robertson's work has drawn significant attention. Some worry it could be a cover for developing advanced weaponry." As if summoned by his name, Dr. Robertson burst into the room, his face flushed with excitement. "It's ready!" he exclaimed, holding up a sleek metallic arm. "Ambassador Henry, are you prepared to make history?" The procedure to attach the cybernetic limb was grueling. Bruce gritted his teeth as unfamiliar sensations coursed through his nervous system. Dr. Robertson worked alongside Malin surgeons, their movements precise and coordinated. Hours later, Bruce stood before a mirror, marveling at his new arm. He flexed the fingers, watching in awe as they responded to his thoughts with fluid precision. "Remarkable," Nina breathed, her compound eyes fixed on the cybernetic limb. "Indeed," Major Steele agreed. "Ambassador, the Coalition delegates have requested a demonstration. They're eager to see your new capabilities firsthand." Bruce nodded, a mix of anticipation and trepidation churning in his stomach. As he prepared to face the assembled galactic representatives, he couldn't shake the feeling that this moment would define humanity's place in the cosmos. Outside the medical facility, a crowd had gathered. Beings of all shapes and sizes pressed against security barriers, their alien features twisted with curiosity and apprehension. Bruce took a deep breath, straightened his shoulders, and stepped into the harsh light of the Malin sun. The future of Earth, of the entire galaxy, hung in the balance, and it all rested on the strength of one man and his remarkable new arm. As Bruce contemplated the implications of his new cybernetic arm, the days flew by in a flurry of preparation. The amphitheater buzzed with activity as workers transformed it into a grand stage for the unveiling. Dr. Robertson made countless adjustments, his fingers dancing across holographic displays as he fine-tuned the arm's neural interface. The morning of the demonstration arrived, and Bruce found himself standing backstage, his heart pounding. He flexed his new fingers, marveling at their responsiveness. Major Steele approached, his face a mask of concentration. "Security's tight," Steele said, his eyes constantly scanning their surroundings. "But stay alert. The Nexus won't give up easily." Bruce nodded, squaring his shoulders. As he stepped onto the stage, the amphitheater fell silent. Thousands of alien eyes focused on him. A sea of diverse physiologies united in curiosity and apprehension. "Delegates of the galactic community," Bruce began, his voice steady. "I stand before you as living proof of what we can achieve when we work together." He raised his cybernetic arm, the metal gleaming under the harsh lights. With fluid motions, Bruce demonstrated its capabilities, lifting weights that would strain even the strongest Malin. He manipulated delicate instruments with precision that left the audience gasping. Nina watched from the front row, her mandibles clicking in approval. But as Bruce reached the climax of his demonstration, a piercing alarm shattered the atmosphere of wonder. Major Steele's voice boomed through the communication system. "Security breach. All delegates evacuate immediately." Explosions rocked the amphitheater, sending chunks of debris raining down. Panic erupted as aliens of all species scrambled for the exits. Bruce's military training kicked in, and he leapt into action without hesitation. Using his cybernetic arm, Bruce lifted a massive piece of fallen ceiling, creating a path for a group of trapped Zanabi delegates. "This way!" he shouted, gesturing with his organic arm. As the Zanabi scurried to safety, Bruce spotted a flash of movement in his peripheral vision. A group of masked figures had emerged from the chaos, their weapons trained on him. Nexus operatives. Nina appeared at his side, her own weapon drawn. "I've got your back, Ambassador," she chittered, her compound eyes gleaming with perseverance. Together, they faced the oncoming Nexus agents. Bruce's cybernetic arm became a shield, deflecting energy blasts with its reinforced plating. Nina moved with startling speed, her years of military training evident in every precise strike. Across the amphitheater, Major Steele coordinated the counterattack. His voice crackled over the comms, directing a mixed force of human and alien security personnel. "Team Alpha, flank left. Bravo, watch for snipers on the upper level." Dr. Robertson had taken refuge in a control room, his fingers flying across alien interfaces. "I'm locking down sensitive areas," he reported. "And there, I've tapped into their comms. Steele, I'm feeding you their positions now." The battle raged on, Bruce and Nina fighting back-to-back. They had just dispatched another group of Nexus agents when a hush fell over the amphitheater. A figure emerged from the smoke, tall and imposing. Even without introduction, Bruce knew this must be the one they called the Architect. "So, this is Earth's champion." The Architect's voice was cold, almost mechanical. "Let's see if you're worthy of the title." The Architect moved within human speed, closing the distance between them in the blink of an eye. Bruce barely had time to raise his cybernetic arm to block the first strike. The impact sent shockwaves through his body, but the arm held. What followed was a blur of motion, a duel that pushed Bruce to his limits and beyond. The Architect's attacks came from impossible angles, each blow threatening to overwhelm Bruce's defenses. But with each exchange, Bruce learned, adapted. In a moment of clarity, Bruce saw his opening. As the Architect wound up for another crushing blow, Bruce used his cybernetic arm to grab a piece of debris. With precision honed by countless hours of practice, he hurled it at his opponent's feet. The Architect stumbled, his perfect balance disrupted for just a fraction of a second. It was all Bruce needed. He surged forward, cybernetic fingers locking around the Architect's throat. With a final burst of strength, Bruce lifted his foe and slammed him to the ground. The amphitheater fell silent as the Architect lay motionless at Bruce's feet. Then, a cheer erupted from the gathered delegates who had witnessed the battle. Species that had long been at odds with each other now united in celebration of humanity's victory. As the dust settled and the last of the Nexus operatives were rounded up, Bruce found himself surrounded by a sea of grateful aliens. Major Steele approached, a rare smile on his face. "Well done, Ambassador. I think you've made quite an impression." Before Bruce could respond, Dr. Robertson burst through the crowd, his face flushed with excitement. "Bruce, you won't believe what I've just received from Earth. It's incredible." But as Robertson opened his mouth to continue, a high-pitched whine filled the air. Every communication device in the amphitheater lit up simultaneously, displaying an urgent message from Earth Command. Bruce's eyes widened as he read the classified transmission. Whatever Earth had discovered, it was clear that nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. Bruce's eyes widened as he read the classified transmission. Whatever Earth had discovered, it was clear that nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. He exchanged a glance with Dr. Robertson and Major Steele, their faces mirroring his own mix of anticipation and concern. "We need to return to Earth immediately," Major Steele said, his voice low and urgent. Within hours, they were aboard a high-speed transport, hurtling through space towards their home planet. Bruce's cybernetic arm hummed softly as he absently flexed his fingers, lost in thought about the implications of the mysterious message. Upon landing, they were whisked away in a nondescript vehicle. Its windows tended to obscure their view. The familiar landscapes of Earth blurred past as they drove deep into the Rocky Mountains. Finally, they arrived at a hidden entrance, cunningly disguised as part of the mountain face. As they stepped out of the vehicle, Bruce noticed Nina, the Malin military officer, had joined them. Her presence here on Earth spoke volumes about the gravity of the situation. The group descended into the mountain via a sleek elevator. The air grew cooler, the walls transitioning from rough stone to polished metal as they plunged deeper into Earth's crust. When the doors finally opened, they found themselves in a vast, high-tech facility humming with activity. General William Hawthorne, a tall man with steel-gray hair and piercing blue eyes, greeted them. "Welcome to the heart of the Interstellar Defense Initiative," he said, his voice carrying the weight of command. "Follow me. There's something you need to see." They were led through a series of security checkpoints, each more stringent than the last. Finally, they entered a circular room dominated by a holographic display. At its center floated the image of an object that defied easy description, a pulsing, geometric form that seemed to bend the light around it. "This," General Hawthorne said, gesturing to the hologram, "is the Nexus Core. We discovered it buried deep within the Antarctic ice sheet. Dr. Robertson leaned forward, his eyes wide with scientific curiosity. Incredible. What exactly are we looking at, General? It's an alien artifact of immense power, Hawthorne explained. Our scientists believe it's capable of manipulating gravity and creating stable wormholes. In essence, gentlemen, and Nina, we're looking at the key to instantaneous travel across the galaxy. Bruce felt a chill run down his spine. The implications were staggering. Have we made any progress in understanding how it works? He asked. Hawthorne's expression tightened. We've hit a wall. That's where you come in, Nina. We believe your knowledge of advanced Malin technology might be the key to unlocking its full potential. Nina stepped forward, her compound eyes fixed on the hologram. I will assist in any way I can, she said, her mandibles clicking softly. This discovery could benefit all species in the galaxy. As Nina began working with the Earth scientists, Bruce found himself grappling with a moral dilemma. Earth's government had decided to keep the Nexus core a secret from the rest of the galaxy, fearing the consequences of its premature revelation. We can't keep this hidden forever, Bruce argued during a tense meeting with Hawthorne and other military leaders. The coalition is built on trust. If they discover we've been developing this technology in secret, the risk is too great, Hawthorne interrupted. Imagine if the Nexus organization got their hands on this technology. No, Ambassador Henry, for now, this remains classified at the highest level. Overruled, Bruce watched as Earth began to change. Dr. Robertson led a team in developing new technologies based on the Nexus core. A prototype spacecraft, dubbed the Starbreaker, was fast-tracked into production. Major Steele threw himself into training an elite group of pilots to operate the new craft. Bruce observed one of the training sessions, watching in awe as the pilots maneuvered their ships through artificially created wormholes, emerging light years away in the blink of an eye. As weeks turned into months, tensions in the galaxy began to rise. Other species noticed Earth's rapid advancements, their suspicions growing. Bruce found himself constantly shuttling between worlds, using every ounce of his diplomatic skill to maintain the fragile peace. During a mission to a frontier world, Bruce and his team stumbled upon something that changed everything. Hidden beneath the surface of a desolate moon, they discovered a Nexus base teeming with activity. They're reverse engineering alien tech, Steele whispered as they observed the facility through high-powered scopes. And some of it looks disturbingly similar to the Nexus core. Bruce's blood ran cold. He immediately relayed the information back to Earth. General Hawthorne's response was swift and decisive. This is the perfect opportunity to test the Starbreaker in actual combat. Hawthorne's voice crackled over the secure comm channel. Ambassador Henry, you and Major Steele will lead a covert strike team. Your mission is to infiltrate the facility and secure any technology or information related to the Nexus core. As Bruce suited up for the mission, he couldn't shake a feeling of unease. Dr. Robertson approached him, his face alight with excitement. Bruce, we've made a breakthrough, Robertson said, his words tumbling out in a rush. With proper calibration, the Nexus core could create a galaxy-wide communication network. Instant connection between all coalition worlds. Bruce absorbed this new information, his mind racing with the implications. As he boarded the Starbreaker alongside Major Steele and a squad of elite troops, he realized they were standing on the precipice of a new era. The ship's Nexus core-derived engines hummed to life, the cockpit awash in the soft blue glow of holographic displays. As they prepared to create their first combat wormhole, Bruce gripped the arms of his seat. All systems green, the pilot announced. Initiating wormhole creation in 3, 2, 1. The universe seemed to bend around them, reality itself twisting as the Starbreaker plunged into the unknown. Bruce knew that whatever happened next would shape not just Earth's future, but the fate of the entire galaxy. Galaxy, The wormhole enveloped them, a kaleidoscope of impossible colors swirling around the Starbreaker as it hurtled through space-time. Moments later, they emerged near their target, the frontier world housing the Nexus base. Bruce's stomach lurched as the ship decelerated rapidly, the inertial dampeners straining to compensate. "Successful jump," the pilot announced, his voice steady despite the tension evident in his posture. "We're approximately 500,000 kilometers from the planet's surface." Major Steele leaned forward, studying the holographic display. "Any signs we've been detected?" "Negative, sir," replied the sensor officer. "Our stealth systems are holding." Bruce was about to speak when an alert flashed across the main screen. The sensor officer's fingers danced across her console, eyes widening. "Sir, I'm detecting an anomalous energy signature on the planet's surface. It's similar to the Nexus core." A hush fell over the bridge. Bruce and Steele exchanged glances, the implications clear. This changed everything. "Adjust our approach vector," Steele ordered. "We need to investigate this energy source before proceeding with the primary objective." As the Starbreaker entered the planet's atmosphere, Bruce briefed the strike team. "We'll perform a high-altitude drop using the latest stealth tech. Our primary goal now is to reach and secure that energy source. Stay alert. We don't know what we're walking into." Minutes later, Bruce found himself plummeting through alien skies, the planet's crimson surface rushing up to meet him. His combat suit's heads-up display showed the rest of the team in formation around him, their descent controlled and nearly silent. They touched down in a rocky outcropping 2 kilometers from the energy source. Bruce's cybernetic arm whirred softly as he unholstered his weapon, scanning the horizon. The alien landscape was barren, dotted with jagged rock formations and deep crevasses. "Move out," Steele whispered over the comm. "Keep low and stay quiet." They advanced swiftly, their path taking them through a maze of towering rock spires. As they crested a final ridge, the source of the energy signature came into view. Bruce's breath caught in his throat. Below them sprawled a massive excavation site. Nexus operatives swarmed around a central pit, where a pulsing object lay half buried in the planet's red soil. Even from this distance, Bruce could see its similarity to the Nexus core. "Another artifact," he breathed. "They're unearthing it." Steele's eyes narrowed as he assessed the situation. "We need to move fast. Once that thing's out of the ground, who knows what they'll do with it?" Bruce nodded, his mind racing. "Agreed. We'll use the terrain for cover. Alpha Team, flank left. Bravo, with me on the right. Charlie, provide overwatch." As one, the strike team sprang into action. Bruce led Bravo team down the ridge, using his cybernetic arm to navigate the treacherous terrain with inhuman grace. They were halfway to the excavation site when all hell broke loose. A Nexus sentry, previously hidden behind a rock formation, spotted them. Alarms blared across the site as energy weapons lit up the dim sky. "So much for stealth," Steele growled over the comm. "All units engage." Bruce's cybernetic arm transformed, energy crackling along its length as he returned fire. He sprinted forward, using the chaotic terrain as cover. A Nexus operative appeared in front of him, weapon raised. Bruce didn't hesitate. His cybernetic fist connected with the alien's chest, sending it flying backward. As he fought his way toward the central pit, Bruce saw Steele coordinating the assault with deadly efficiency. The Major moved like a force of nature, each shot finding its mark with unerring accuracy. Bruce reached the edge of the pit, his eyes locked on the artifact. Its surface rippled with strange symbols, pulsing with an inner light. He extended his cybernetic arm, searching for an interface. A familiar whine filled the air as his comms crackled to life. General Hawthorne's voice cut through the sounds of battle, tight with urgency. "Henry, Steele, we have a situation. Multiple Nexus fleets have just appeared near key coalition worlds. They're using tech similar to our wormhole drive. It's a coordinated, galaxy-wide assault. Bruce's blood ran cold. He looked at the artifact, then back at the battle raging around him. In that moment, he made a decision that would alter the course of the war. "Everyone, clear the area!" he shouted, plunging his cybernetic arm into the artifact's pulsing surface. Pain lanced through his body as alien data flooded his systems. Gritting his teeth, Bruce pushed deeper, searching for a way to activate the device. The artifact hummed, its glow intensifying. A wave of energy exploded outward, washing over the battlefield. Nexus weapons and technology sputtered and died, leaving the enemy forces in disarray. All units pushed forward, Steel ordered, seizing the opportunity. Secure all Nexus tech and data. As the strike team swarmed the now defenseless Nexus base, Bruce interfaced with their systems. His eyes widened as he uncovered the scope of the Nexus plan. "Major," he called, "you need to see this. These artifacts, they're scattered across the galaxy, part of some ancient network." Steele joined him, studying the data. A network? For what purpose? Before Bruce could answer, a commotion erupted nearby. A group of his soldiers was escorting a diverse group of aliens from a previously hidden structure. One of them, a tall, ethereal being with iridescent skin, broke free and approached Bruce. "You activated the node," she said, her voice resonating with an otherworldly timbre. "I am Zara of the Elders. We have much to discuss, but not here. Your enemies will soon recover." Bruce nodded, making a swift decision. "Everyone, back to the Star Raker. Bring all the tech and data you can carry. And our new guests." As they raced back to the ship, Bruce's mind whirled with the implications of what they'd discovered. The galaxy had changed in ways they couldn't yet comprehend. And as the Starbreaker prepared for another wormhole jump, he knew their real journey was just beginning. As the Starbreaker prepared for another wormhole jump, Bruce knew their real journey was just starting. "All systems ready," the pilot announced. "Engaging wormhole drive." The familiar twist of reality enveloped them once more, and they emerged near Centauri Prime. The scene that greeted them was one of chaos. Nexus ships swarmed around the planet, their energy weapons lancing through space. "By the stars," Steele muttered, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "They hit hard and fast." Bruce nodded grimly. "Pilot, take us in. We need to reach the surface." The Starbreaker plunged through the maelstrom of battle, its advanced stealth systems keeping them undetected. As they entered the atmosphere, the devastation became clearer. Plumes of smoke rose from the capital city, and the planetary defense grid flickered weakly. "We'll split into teams," Bruce said as they prepared to disembark. "Steele, you're with me. We'll secure the command center. Robertson, work with the local scientists to integrate our wormhole tech into their defenses. Zara, your knowledge will be crucial. Assist where you can." They hit the ground running, the sounds of battle echoing around them. Bruce's cybernetic arm whirred as he interfaced with a nearby terminal, overriding the security protocols. "This way," he called, leading the team through the chaos. They fought their way through the streets, Nexus forces pressing in from all sides. Bruce's arm proved invaluable, allowing him to hack into enemy systems on the fly. Nexus turrets turned on their former masters, buying the team precious time. At the command center, they found a handful of Centauri defenders making a last stand. With the addition of Bruce's team, the tide quickly turned. As Steele coordinated the counterattack, Bruce worked to restore the planetary defenses. "It's working," he said, his fingers flying over the console. "Robertson, how's the integration coming?" "Almost there," Robertson's voice crackled over the comm. Just a few more minutes, and we'll have a planet-wide wormhole defense network. Suddenly, an urgent alert flashed across Bruce's screen. Steele, we've got a problem. There's a coalition outpost under heavy fire in the nearby system. Steele's face hardened. We can't leave them hanging. Prep the Starbreaker for immediate departure. Within minutes, they were back aboard the ship, hurtling through another wormhole. They emerged to find the outpost defenses crumbling under a relentless Nexus assault. Weapons hot, Steele ordered, taking control of the ship systems. Let's show these bastards what Earth tech can do. The Starbreaker danced through the void, its advanced weaponry tearing through the Nexus ships. Steele's piloting was nothing short of miraculous, weaving through enemy fire with impossible precision. As the last Nexus ship exploded in a brilliant flash, cheers erupted from the outpost. Bruce allowed himself a small smile before turning to the rest of the team. This is just the beginning, he said. We need to keep moving, hit as many coalition worlds as we can. Share what we know, upgrade their defenses. Over the next several days, they jumped from world to world. At each stop, they delivered crucial intelligence and technology, turning the tide of battle bit by bit. Zara's knowledge of the ancient artifacts proved invaluable, helping them understand the connections between the network and the Nexus core. As they approached the Orion Nebula, Bruce felt a sense of unease. Something's not right, he muttered, studying the sensor readings. Before anyone could respond, a massive Nexus fleet materialized before them. Hundreds of ships, far more than they could hope to fight. Evasive maneuvers. Steele shouted, but Bruce held up a hand. Wait, he said, his mind racing. The nebula. We can use the Starbreaker's drive to jump inside it. That's insane, Robertson protested. The interference could tear us apart. It's our only choice, Bruce insisted. Do it. The ship plunged into the swirling gases of the nebula, alarms blaring as systems struggled to compensate. For a heart-stopping moment, Bruce thought they'd made a terrible mistake. Then, clarity returned to their sensors. I'm picking up an energy signature, the sensor officer reported. It's massive. As they navigated through the colorful clouds, a structure began to take shape. A Nexus installation of staggering proportions, churning out wormhole-capable ships at an alarming rate. Bruce's mind whirled with the implications. This is it, he said, his voice tight with anticipation. This is how we turn the tide. We destroy this facility. We cripple their entire operation. He turned to the team, his eyes blazing with commitment. Who's ready to save all of the universe? The response was unanimous. As they prepared to infiltrate the Nexus stronghold, Bruce knew that whatever happened next would shape the fate of not just Earth, but every world touched by this conflict. The real battle was about to begin. The team's willpower was palpable as they prepared to infiltrate the Nexus stronghold. Bruce led the way, his cybernetic arm scanning for entry points. They found an airlock, and Steele expertly bypassed the security protocols. As they stepped inside, the ancient precursor space station hummed to life around them. Emergency lights flickered on, casting an eerie glow through the corridors. Robertson, get life support online, Bruce ordered. Zara, we need your expertise on these systems. The team moved swiftly, their footsteps echoing in the cavernous halls. Suddenly, they emerged into a vast chamber that took their breath away. Holographic displays filled the air, pulsing with alien script and diagrams. My God, Robertson whispered, his eyes wide. This technology, it's beyond anything we've encountered. Bruce nodded, his expression grim. And it's the key to ending this war. Get to work on those interfaces, Doc. I'll see what I can pull from the main systems. As Robertson and Zara huddled over a control panel, Bruce extended his cybernetic arm. The familiar pain of interfacing with alien tech shot through him, but he gritted his teeth and pushed through. Data flooded his mind, schematics, historical records, tactical information. His eyes widened as the truth of the Nexus organization unfolded before him. "Major," he called, his voice tight. "You need to see this." Steele joined him, studying the holographic display. "What am I looking at, Henry?" "The Nexus. They're not what we thought. They're a faction of the precursor race. This station, the artifacts, it's all part of their plan to reclaim their empire." Before Steele could respond, alarms blared through the chamber. Bruce spun around to see Vorix, the captured Nexus commander, breaking free from his restraints. "Stop him!" Steele shouted, lunging forward. The ensuing struggle was brief but violent. Vorix fought with the desperation of a cornered animal. In the chaos, Steele took a vicious blow to the ribs, the crack of bone audible even over the alarms. Despite his injury, Steele managed to tackle Vorix to the ground. As they grappled, the Nexus commander's neural implant sparked, interfacing with the station's systems. A new alarm sounded, deeper and more ominous than before. The holographic displays flickered, showing a galactic map with pulsing points of light. "It's a failsafe," Zara called out, her fingers flying over the alien controls. The entire artifact network is powering up. Bruce knew he had seconds to act. Ignoring the pain, he plunged his cybernetic arm into the station's main interface. The connection seared through his nervous system, every cell screaming in agony. Through sheer force of will, he managed to halt the network activation. But the strain was immense, threatening to overwhelm him completely. "Robertson," he ground out through clenched teeth. "Need you. To stabilize. Can't hold it." The doctor rushed to Bruce's side, his medical scanner whirring. "Your vitals are off the charts. We need to disconnect you now." "Can't," Bruce gasped. "Network. Will activate. Galaxy. Lost." As Robertson worked frantically to keep Bruce alive, the station shuddered under weapons fire. General Hawthorne's voice crackled over their comms. "Strike team, what's your status? We're engaged with a Nexus fleet outside. They came through a wormhole, drawn by some massive energy surge." Steele, clutching his injured side, responded, "General, we've uncovered critical intel. The artifact network, it's the key to stopping the Nexus. But we need time. We'll buy you what we can, Major. Make it count." Zara joined Robertson at the main console, her ethereal features set in concentration. "There's a way," she said. "We can repurpose the network, turn it against the Nexus. But it requires a direct neural link to the station's core." All eyes turned to Bruce, still connected to the interface, his body trembling with the effort of holding back the failsafe. "I'll do it," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "Bruce, no," Steele protested. "It could kill you." "No choice," Bruce replied. "Only one. With the implants. Have to try." As the team prepared for the risky procedure, the space battle raged outside. The station rocked with each impact, systems flickering ominously. Bruce steeled himself for what was to come. With a nod to his teammates, he pushed deeper into the interface, seeking the station's core. The universe exploded behind his eyes. Information flooded his consciousness. The secrets of the precursors, the true nature of the artifact network, the vast expanse of the galaxy laid bare before him. Through the haze of pain and sensory overload, Bruce focused on a single task: rewriting the network's protocols. He could feel the massive energy field forming, spreading out across the stars. Nexus ships faltered, their systems going dark. The tide of battle turned in an instant, but the victory came at a terrible cost. Bruce's cybernetic arm fused with the station's systems, the connection searing itself into his very being. He could feel his consciousness spreading, thinning across the vast network. As he teetered on the edge of oblivion, Bruce made a choice. Using his newfound access, he began transmitting crucial data to coalition forces across the galaxy. Weapon schematics, shield frequencies, wormhole coordinates, everything the Alliance needed to crush the Nexus once and for all. But with each passing second, the strain grew. Bruce could feel himself slipping away, his grip on reality weakening. Bruce. Steele's voice seemed to come from a great distance. You need to disconnect. You've done enough. But had he? As his vision dimmed, Bruce realized the awful truth. His connection to the network was the only thing keeping the Nexus at bay. If he let go now, all could be lost. With the last of his strength, Bruce turned to his team. His friends. His family. The choice before them was impossible, but it had to be made. "What's it going to be?" he managed to say, his voice barely audible over the hum of the station. "Cut me loose, or use what I've become." The future of the cosmos hung in the balance as Steele, Robertson, and Zara faced the most difficult decision of their lives. Time was running out, and the consequences of their choice would echo across the stars for generations to come. Bruce's vision swam, his consciousness stretched thin across the vast network. He could barely hear Steele's voice calling out to him, urging him to disconnect. But he knew he couldn't let go, not when the future of the stars hung in the balance. Suddenly, a surge of energy coursed through Bruce's cybernetic arm. Dr. Robertson's face came into focus, his expression a mix of grit and hope. "I've got it," Robertson exclaimed, his fingers flying over a makeshift console. "We can distribute the neural load. It might just save you, Bruce." Without hesitation, Steele stepped forward. "Hook me up, document whatever it takes." Zara nodded, her ethereal features set with persistence. "I will join as well." Robertson worked with lightning speed, adapting Bruce's cybernetic interface to create connections for Steele and Zara. As they linked to the station's core, Bruce felt the overwhelming strain lessen. His mind cleared, allowing him to process the flood of information with newfound clarity. The trio's consciousness merged, forming a unique hybrid intelligence. Precursor knowledge flowed through them, understanding dawned as they rapidly processed millennia of alien wisdom. Steele's tactical acumen, Zara's intuitive grasp of alien technology, and Bruce's adaptability combined to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Outside the station, the battle raged on. General Hawthorne's voice crackled over the comm. "Strike team, we're getting hit hard out here. Whatever you're doing in there, we need it now." Bruce, Steele, and Zara worked in unison, their shared consciousness strategically disseminating crucial data to coalition forces. Weapon schematics, shield frequencies, and tactical analysis streamed to Allied ships across the sector. The effect was immediate. Coalition vessels, newly armed with precursor-derived weaponry, began to turn the tide. Nexus ships faltered under the assault, their once impenetrable defenses crumbling. As the battle shifted in their favor, Dr. Robertson monitored the trio's vital signs with growing concern. "The connection is stabilizing, but I'm not sure how long your bodies can handle this level of integration." Bruce felt the strain building once again. Despite the shared load, the human and alien physiology was never meant to interface so completely with the precursor technology. They needed a solution and fast. As if in response to their desperate need, a new set of data flowed through their shared consciousness. Bruce's eyes widened as he processed the information. "Doc," he called out, his voice strained but steady. The precursors had a way to transfer consciousness into synthetic bodies. "It's our only shot." Robertson's brow furrowed as he absorbed the implications. "Are you sure about this? There's no guarantee we can reverse the process." Steele's voice rang out, tinged with the strange resonance of their shared mind. "We don't have a choice. If we disconnect now, we lose everything." Zara's thoughts flowed through their link, her alien perspective providing clarity. This is the path forward. We must take it. Robertson nodded, steeling himself for the complex procedure ahead. Guided by the precursor knowledge flowing through his companions, he began the intricate process of consciousness transfer. The station hummed with energy, systems long dormant springing to life. Bruce felt a tugging sensation, as if his very essence was being pulled from his body. The world around him blurred, reality itself seeming to warp and twist. In a blinding flash of light, the transfer completed. Bruce blinked, his new synthetic eyes adjusting to the sudden change. He flexed his hands, marveling at the advanced construction of his new form. Beside him, Steele and Zara were undergoing similar transformations, their consciousness now housed in bodies of incomprehensible complexity. As they acclimated to their new existence, alarms blared throughout the station. A massive energy signature pulsed on the main display, dwarfing anything they had encountered before. "By the stars," Zara breathed, her synthetic voice tinged with awe and horror. "The Nexus has activated their superweapon. It has the power to destroy entire star systems." Bruce's mind raced, processing the threat at incredible speed. His new form allowed him to interface directly with the station systems, precursor knowledge flowing through him like a digital river. "We can stop it," he said, certainty filling his voice. "The artifact network. We can reconfigure it to disperse the energy." Steele nodded, already moving to a nearby console. "Tell me what you need." As one, the trio began to work. Their new bodies moved with fluid precision, perfectly in sync with each other and the station's technology. Bruce directed the effort, his consciousness expanding to encompass the vast network of artifacts spread across the galaxy. The superweapon fired, a wave of destructive energy racing towards the heart of Coalition space. But as it approached, the artifact network sprang to life. Countless points of light blazed across the galaxy, forming an intricate web of energy. The deadly wave hit the network and shattered, its power dispersed harmlessly across millions of light years. On countless worlds, beings looked up in awe as their skies filled with shimmering auroras, unaware of the cataclysm they had narrowly avoided. As the last of the energy dissipated, Bruce turned to his companions. Their new synthetic faces were as expressive as their old organic ones, showing a mix of relief, wonder, and willpower. "We did it," Steele said, a smile spreading across his face. "We actually did it." Zara nodded, her eyes gleaming with an inner light. "This is only the beginning. With these new forms, with the knowledge we now possess, we can reshape the galaxy for the better." Bruce looked out at the stars, his enhanced vision picking out details invisible to human eyes. The Nexus threat was broken, but he knew their work was a long way to go. A new era was dawning, one that would bring challenges and opportunities beyond anything they had imagined. As General Hawthorne's voice came over the comm, reporting their victory and requesting instructions, Bruce squared his shoulders. They had saved the galaxy, but now came the real test, building a future worthy of the sacrifices made to secure it.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.